My mum doesn't understand me. Are they separating for real this time? Should I move in with my mom or my dad? Is that going to get better? What am I going to do with my life? I need a job. They're going to kill me for failing that exam. I spend way too much time on Facebook. What should I do in college? Do I have any real friends? Why am I such a freak? Why is everyone mocking me? I look horrible. Will anyone go to my debs with me? Why did I get drunk and make such a fool out of myself? Everyone judges me. What's everyone going to think about me tomorrow? What's my mum going to say? I'm afraid to talk to my friends. My parents won't listen. There's no one to turn to. I'm afraid.
My name is Cameron Robinson, and I'm here to talk about mental illness. Many people are affected by mental illness around the world annually. Thomas Itzel states that nearly 1 in 5 people will experience mental illness, and nearly 43 million Americans will also experience it. Suicide is also the second highest cause of death among young adults, which shows why the topic is such a serious issue to consider. The two types of mental illness are mood disorders and psychotic disorders. Mood disorders include emotional illnesses like depression, anxiety, and stress. Psychotic disorders affect your connection to reality and include schizophrenia and Alzheimer's. When talking about mood disorders, we can consider a study that was done in the early 2000s to see how stress affects college students. Nearly 30.2% of college students state that they feel anxiety throughout the average week. In Ohio State in 2018, another study was done to see how the same results occur. Students in this study stated that nearly 84.6% of students feel anxiety throughout the average week. This shows a great increase in why it's such a serious issue. Psychotic disorders are also very serious and include Alzheimer's, which ultimately leads to death. They have a high mortality rate. It's not necessarily from Alzheimer's, but from secondary infections that it causes. These infections can be cardiovascular and respiratory. Now that we've talked about the two different types of disorders, we can talk about how they occur. Paulina Wigner performed a study to find that tryptophan was decreased in depression patients. Tryptophan is necessary to regulate your creation of serotonin. Serotonin ultimately helps to regulate your mood. If tryptophan is not created, then serotonin is not created and your mood cannot be regulated. We have discussed many issues that lead to mental illness, and there is one method that can fix all the different pathways. Implementing exercise as a curative procedure can solve the issues that lead to mental illness. A study was performed by Dr. Taylor Barr to see how exercise and trained athletes affect their emotions. The exercise reported to increase mood, perception, and popularity while also decreasing stress, anxiety, and anger. In relation to this, the Ohio State study reported that only 37.5% of students used exercise as a means to relieve stress. This could be why such a high level of anxiety was reported among these students. When trying to solve the mood disorders, we need to find a way to fix the tryptophan deficiency in depression. To solve this, a study was done to see how exhaustive aerobic activity in trained athletes affects the immune system. The study reported that tryptophan was increased by 12% due to the exhaustive aerobic activity. This increase in tryptophan will also increase serotonin, which will then increase your mood. This shows how exercise has the ability to solve mood disorders, but how does it solve psychotic disorders? A study was performed in the United Kingdom to see how schizophrenia patients respond to exercise. Schizophrenia patients report a very low life expectancy, but due to the exercise, it was able to increase. They also reported an increase in cardiovascular and respiratory health due to the exercise. The increase in life expectancy was likely due to the increase in cardiovascular and respiratory health. Due to the prevention of secondary infections, they usually lead to death in Alzheimer's patients. Exercise has the ability to heal many kinds of mental illness, but how can we begin to implement this plan in our daily lives? In an effort to increase the physical activity of mental illness patients, we need to become involved with the Right to Play USA organization as coaching leaders. Through becoming a coaching leader, we can teach children who have been through emotional trauma how to become involved in exercise and overcome their mental illness. The physical activity through this organization will help children to prevent and heal mental disorders. When becoming involved in the Right to Play organization, it may seem like a very daunting task. There are several barriers that we need to overcome to be able to become involved. The first barrier is efficacy. Many of us have not become involved with teaching people how to overcome illnesses or coaching a team sport. To do this, Right to Play offers training sessions where you can learn how the sport works and learn how to teach children how to overcome their mental illnesses. This will equip you with everything you need to learn how to become a coach. The second barrier is time investment.
Many of us do not have the time to become involved with Right to Play. For those of us who are like this, Right to Play offers an alternative where you can donate equipment, money towards fundraising, or money towards teaching the coaches. The third barrier is cost. Traveling all over the country can be very hard and expensive. Right to Play offers fundraising events where you can raise money to cover your travel costs all over the country. We have seen how exercise has the ability to heal mood disorders through raising tryptophan pathways and heal psychotic disorders by preventing secondary infections. By becoming involved in Right to Play, we can save the lives of children all over the country. Right to Play has the ability to not only change the stigma around mental illness in our country, but also save the lives of millions of people in the process.